everybody, it's Melinda Gallant, and I want to welcome you to another Cape Conversations. We've got a great show today. It's all about the Sandwich Cultural Council, and I'm doing it from my fuzzy slippers back bedroom. So come along, let's have another Cape Conversations. Hi, everybody. I am so excited to be once again doing another fuzzy slipper edition of Cape Conversations. And the best part about it is this time I'm in another room of my house. Woohoo! That's right. I am in the back bedroom. We all have one of those, and this is mine. And I am here today with, in my back bedroom, ooh, don't tell anybody, in my back bedroom with Peter Fondulas, and he's with the Sandwich Cultural Council. He's one of the co-chairs. So Peter, welcome to Cape Conversations.
Thank you, Melinda. I don't have a fuzzy slipper on, but I hope I still qualify.
Well, that's true. Well, you've got an office, so yeah, I can see
Yeah,
it's an office behind you. That's very cool.
true,
You have a
true.
real
Yeah.
one. Yes.
Yeah, it used to be a painter's studio, but I converted it to an office. So.
Ah, well, it's lovely. I'm sure our audience will love it.
Good.
So Peter, you're the co-chair of the Sandwich Cultural Council, correct?
Yes.
All right. So Peter, what in the heck is the Sandwich Cultural Council?
Well, the Sandwich Cultural Council is a council in town here, and in fact, the Massachusetts has 329 local cultural councils. So each municipality in the state has a cultural council of its own. Now, it is overseen by the Massachusetts Cultural Council. So that is kind of the overall organization that runs these cultural councils. And so what we do, our mission is to take money that is allotted to us by the state, and we get a certain allotment every year, and we decide based on that money how to divvy it up among people who are interested in doing programs or events or performances in the arts, in the sciences, in the humanities that will benefit the town, that will benefit the people of Sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
So people will submit applications for their programs that they would like us to help fund. And then once we get those applications in, we evaluate them, we see which ones we think meet the criteria the best, again, that is benefiting the town, benefiting the largest or a wide variety of people, across all the different programs. There's other things like it being non-discriminatory, et cetera. And so we decide which ones we want to fund, and then we take our money that has been allotted to us and we divvy it up among those programs.
Okay, so where does that money come from? Is that tax dollars?
The money comes from the state, and it comes from the National Endowment for the Arts. So, in fact, it's actually originally it comes from the state legislature and the National Endowment. So they determine how much money the Massachusetts Cultural Council is going to get every year. And then the Massachusetts Cultural Council says, okay, we're going to give this amount to Sandwich, we're going to give this amount to Boston, we're going to give this amount to Braintree or whatever. So each municipality gets a certain share of that money.
I thought the money came partially too from the lottery. Does it not?
It's actually, I'm not so sure about that.
Okay.
It may come from the lottery.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it did at one time anyway.
Okay, you might be right about that. I just
don't
know that the state has to determine how much that money is going to be. And one of the things that's interesting this year because of COVID is that the state has not established a budget yet. So
I know.
Normally by now, we would know exactly how much money we would have to divvy up, but we don't know that yet. So we won't know that until November, probably late November. So, but yeah, so the state, it's part of the state budget, and then we know at that point how much we're going to get.
And you're not the same as the Sandwich Historical District, which is also another group.
Right.
Not the same thing. No.
No, we're not. No, we're not. No,
okay.
We're a different animal. Yeah.
And you're not the same thing as the Sandwich Foundation Fund, which also funds other things.
Correct. No, we're
No.
not them. We're not them either. No, no,
Okay. All
no.
right.
We've been in contact with those organizations to see how we can work together.
Yeah.
But no, we're a different entity. And
Okay.
like I said, each municipality in the state has a local cultural council
Right.
that gets its share of that state money.
I see. I see. That's excellent.
Yep.
So give me an idea of maybe some of the different organizations you funded. They're all sandwich organizations primarily, or it's for
Primarily,
something
yep.
sandwich? Yeah.
Yep. So, things like the Sandwich Arts Alliance is an organization that we help fund. The Katuitt
Uh-huh.
Center for the Arts is an organization that we help fund. Cape Cod Corral is an organization as well. And in fact, last year we helped fund 14 different programs
Oh,
through the program. Yeah, we had 25 applicants and we selected 14. So it's organizations like that. So some of them are the Shine program for underprivileged kids learning arts is another one that we fund. So it's really we're trying to find a good mix of programs that are targeted to people like the elderly or underprivileged
mhm.
populations or children. And it's also a mix of educational things, just pure performance and fun, and informative, types of programs.
I
So,
see.
so that's what we do. Yep.
I see. And how many people are on it? I know, well, I should probably disclose the fact I'm on it.
Yes, you're right. Yes,
I'm on it. Although
right.
I feel like I'm always one step behind the rest of you because you guys have got it all down pat and I'm still kind
I don't
of
know about
finding
that.
my way. So, but how many people are on the council now?
There are 6 people on the council currently.
Yeah.
Um, there, we do have a possible candidate, and we're always looking for
Yeah.
people to volunteer. So if anybody
Yeah.
listening is interested in volunteering, there's really no heavy lifting involved here, and you don't need any prior experience with the arts. You don't have to be an artist. I'm not an artist. You just have to have an interest in the arts.
Sure.
You have to have an interest in promoting arts and culture in the town. And it doesn't require a whole lot of time, just a few meetings a year, during the grant cycle period where we're sending out notifications to people that the grant period has opened. So send in your applications, and then we meet to evaluate them, and then we meet to decide which ones we're going to fund, and then finally we meet to decide how much money
I
each one of
see.
them is going to get. So,
Okay.
so
Well,
it's a pretty non-taxing
I see.
volunteer opportunity.
And I probably should say that Amy Neal is your co-chair, correct?
Yes, she
And
is.
she couldn't be with us today.
She couldn't
So,
be with us. She wishes she could be with us. She's fantastic, and she was actually the chairperson when I joined 3 years ago,
mhm.
and then she asked me to co-chair with her. So we're the kind of partners in crime. So yes.
That's great.
And the
That's
other
great.
thing about what we do is there's another little piece of what we do, and that is that in addition to funding programs that people apply for,
Mhm.
we are also earmarked. We get a certain amount of money earmarked for ourselves, so we can, as a council, spend that money on arts and cultural programs that we want to fund. And we haven't done that recently because we tend to generally spend all the money on the applicants. But one of the things that we've been thinking about doing and have worked on doing is we'd like to do some sort of art installation at the skate park. That was something that we suggested to the rec
Sure.
center last
Yeah.
year, and it just the timing wasn't right.
Right.
But once we get our allotment in November for this year, we know what that is. That's something that we might kind of relaunch that effort.
Sure. So in other words, you could do public art or bring a piece of theater, public theater to that might be free for the audience or do
Exactly.
something. Okay,
Exactly.
great.
Yep. Yeah. We
Great.
get we get a certain amount. We get a certain percentage of the allotment that we can use how we see fit. We can
Oh,
use
that's
it.
great.
We can add it to the pool that everybody gets, or we can do it ourselves. And we get, like I said, when the skate park was being built, we spoke to them about maybe putting a statue or something like that in there, or some sort of art installation. And they were very interested in the idea. But at the time, the skate park was still being constructed, so they wanted to wait and see how it played out, how it shook
Sure.
out in terms of
Sure.
uh, the construction. So we're still very interested in that, or something else.
Sure. Oh, that's wonderful. That's
Yep,
great. Well, that's really what makes, to me, that's what makes a community is when you have public art and
absolutely.
and those kinds of things. We're in Quebec, and they have that one whole area of Quebec City that's all artists. I'm sure you've been there.
Yep.
And the street lamps are all like giant hanging lamps, like with lampshades that have been painted by artists. So they're all different and
Yeah. Oh,
crazy. And
cool.
oh, it's very
Yeah.
cool. And they have artist installations all up and down the waterfront. So,
Oh,
um,
wow.
which was
Yeah.
really, really neat. Really, really neat.
Yeah.
So,
And Amy has done some stuff like that in Hyannis.
yeah.
So she's done some things there. I don't know if you know. So in Boston, they have it's a government agency that funds big murals on
Right. On the
buildings,
buildings.
on
Yeah.
sides of buildings. So that's something that they do, and we'd love to do it.
Yeah.
My personal wish on my wish list
Yeah.
is to paint the power plant, frankly.
Well, I think we've all thought that in the
It's
past.
not, yeah, I know. It's not an original idea, but I would
But
love to
you think
say,
they'd want to do it. You think they would want to do it.
yeah,
They
yeah,
don't.
yeah. I don't think so.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I want to keep
Yeah.
it looking the way it
Yeah.
is.
They like that army green, I guess.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, back,
Yes. So,
look at
so
19.
Peter, how long have you lived in Sandwich?
I've lived in Sandwich for 5 years.
Yeah.
Yep, my wife and I moved here from Harvard, Massachusetts, in Central Mass. Our kids are all grown and gone, and once they left the nest, we decided that it was time to kind of start looking somewhere that's a little bit more active than the rural area that we were in.
Mm-hmm.
And so we looked everywhere, up and down the East Coast, from Florida up to like up here, even up to Newburyport, whatever. And we just finally settled on the Cape, and we just loved it. We loved the fact that we were close to the water. We just loved that it was more, there's more active than it was where we were before. And we picked Sandwich in particular because I'm working, and at least before COVID, I was traveling pretty frequently, and
Mm-hmm.
so access to Logan was important to me. So something a little bit close to Logan. So that's what brought us here.
Oh, that's great. That's
Yeah,
good. And the
yeah.
kids come to visit, I'm sure.
They do. They do.
Yeah.
Well, one of them's in Kentucky,
Oh my
and
goodness. That's culture
unfortunately,
shock.
no, yeah, it's culture shock, absolutely. So she and her partner have a son, so our first grandkid.
Oh, wonderful.
But unfortunately, we've only seen him in person twice because of COVID.
Oh
Uh,
gosh.
so we were out there twice. Well, actually 3 times. We were out there twice, and they came here for Christmas last year.
Yeah.
But since then, it's just been Zoom.
Where in
And
Kentucky, please?
it's a town called Independence, Kentucky. It's very close to Cincinnati. In fact,
Oh, okay.
it's about a 20-minute drive from Cincinnati, and our daughter works in Cincinnati, so it's a
Yeah.
very easy commute.
It's just across the river then.
Yep, it's just across the river. Yeah. So not quite in the deep
I know
part.
that area.
Do you? Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm an
Yeah.
Ohio girl, so I
Oh,
showed my
right. That's
horse
right.
used to show my
That's right.
horse in Cincinnati, so I know all about Cincinnati.
Right.
Of course, it was
Right.
60 years ago maybe, but I used to be there. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
so well, that's wonderful. So, and your other kids are close by or far away?
Well, one's in Manhattan.
Oh, that's not
In
far.
fact, she just moved there in December. Kind of again, she was living in Salem, and then she moved to Manhattan because she wanted to be closer to my family. I grew up in New York,
Uh,
so she wanted to be closer to my family. And of course, she was like looking forward to, party time in Manhattan, and then everything closed down.
Yeah.
So now she's working from home.
Yeah.
But one of them is in Shirley, Mass.
Sure.
And then the fourth one is in Leominster, Mass. So
Excellent.
they're kind of close to where we used to live.
Used to be.
So
Yeah.
those two are close.
Oh, that's
Um,
nice.
and I see my daughter in Manhattan. Again, I used to go to New York a lot for business and got to see her more often, but
Yeah.
that's kind of now it's a little bit less frequent, unfortunately.
Right. Right. Well, maybe in 2 years it'll be more frequent again.
Yeah, that's my hope.
Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, we're all hoping.
Yep.
So back to the Sandwich Cultural Council.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm an organization. I want to do art classes for kids out in the open. I don't know, something. And how do I apply? Where do I find it? Was there a deadline involved?
Yes. So, and by the way, I'm glad you mentioned out in the open, because we are especially interested in programs that will take place either virtually or outside nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, just easier to guarantee that it'll actually happen. I mean, we have a number of the people who were granted the money last year have had to postpone
Yeah.
their events because of COVID. So, we're being as flexible as we possibly can in allowing them to kind of hold on to that money until they can do it.
Yeah.
But where you go, so the main website is mass-culture.org/sandwich. We do have a Facebook page, Sandwich Cultural Council. If you go to the Facebook page, it has all the information there.
Great.
We're on the town website. It has information there. So you go there, and if you click on the link, you will find the application for the program. You need to just fill out, basic information about what the program will do, how you feel it will benefit the town, how much money you would like to see funded, and it's not a guarantee that we're gonna fund all of that, but
right.
But often what happens is we agree and fund a portion of it. So you go that, and the application period has just opened. So October 1st, yesterday, was the first day it opened, and it runs to November 15th.
Excellent.
So anybody who's interested in applying needs to get it in by November 15th. And then at that point, we start evaluating the different applications that come in.
Oh, that's wonderful. Wonderful.
Yep.
And do you know how much money you have to dole out this year or not?
We don't, because the state hasn't settled on their budget. Last year we had $6,500 to dole out across the 14 people that we awarded money to. This year, they basically had to kind of play it by ear a little bit. They didn't want to hold up the application process, but again, we don't know how much money we're going to have. So we'll take the applications, we'll see what people are asking for, and then in November, when we know how much we have to spend and to give out, then we can make decisions from there. So it's a little bit of a different process. This year's grant cycle is actually a month behind because of COVID, but we're doing the best we can to keep this going, to make sure that this
of course,
and the state is doing the best they can. So we get great support from the Mass.
And what does the Mass Cultural Council do? You want to explain that?
Yeah, they run the local cultural councils like us. So they're in charge of they get the endowment from the state, and then they divvy it up. But they also sponsor lots of other programs, educational programs on their own. If you go to their website, the Mass Cultural, I think it's Mass Cultural, same website without the /sandwich. Lots of programs. They promote the arts. They promote lots of local performers, artisans, people who are offering services to their local communities. So
I see.
So it's a great organization.
Oh yeah, sure. And not all states have this, I don't think, do they?
I don't think so. No, but the Cultural Council is the largest grassroots cultural organization in the country. So
wow.
So it's a pretty big deal. And so
that's wonderful. And to think we're a part of it.
We're a part of it. Yes, we are.
And you're a co-chair. Holy smokes.
I know. Who would have thought?
I'm sure your college professor would be going right now, wow, how did he get this far?
I know. Although I think my college professors may not be with us anymore. That was a long time ago. So,
I see. Oh, okay.
hoping, I hope.
Well,
So
you don't look that old, I'll say that much. So
thank you. Yes, I
anyway,
feel old, but
yeah, well, um, you could add them when you were 10. I don't know. So
yeah, no,
that's
no,
what I tell people. Everybody knows
yeah,
I tell people I had them when I was 10. So
exactly.
that's, you know,
Yeah,
um,
no, I think I was blessed with good genes. So
there you go. That's good. All right. So what they need to do, it started October 1st, right? They need to go to the website or to the Facebook page,
yep,
get
yep.
an
It's all,
application.
yeah, it's also posted on Sandwich Scoop. It's posted on Sandwich News.
Right.
Um, the Broadsider, the March Ledger,
Enterprise.
and the Enterprise, yep,
Right.
has posts about it as well.
Okay.
So, and we're posting to the extent that we can. We're posting flyers around town.
Sure.
But yes, so you go to the website mass-culture.org/sandwich or the Facebook page for Sandwich Cultural Council. You'll see the link for the application. It gives you more information about what you need
Okay.
to include, and yeah, just make sure you do that by November 15th.
Okay. So if I wanted to have a car show, maybe not the right fit, but if I wanted to do an art show of some sort, then it might be the right fit.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I mean, but we do lots of education and science stuff too. So if you want to
Yeah.
do an educational program on how cars work,
I see.
you know, that
That might
that would
work.
be appropriate. Yep, it
Sure.
would be under consideration.
Yeah.
We do a lot of stuff for like with the Fishermen's Alliance.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
yeah. So again, performances, educational programs. Lots of things like uh, Zumba for seniors. Things like that. Anything that would benefit the community. And even if it doesn't have to benefit everybody, it could benefit a particular group of people.
I
You know,
see.
and for those, we just make sure we have enough of them so that everybody is kind of covered somehow
Gotcha.
from some program or another.
I see. I
Yep.
see.
Yeah.
Well, and it's been around for a while too, hasn't it?
Yes, I wish I knew how long, but it has been around for a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Predate me by a lot.
Well, I'll tell you, I know when I was doing First Night Cape Cod, which we did a county-wide first night, and I was one of the instigators, I think.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, and when I was at Mashpee Commons, we did theater programs, and I would apply to Sandwich because people from Sandwich would come and do things, in that area. So,
Yeah, yeah,
which was fun. So,
yeah,
good.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
all
It's been
good.
great. For me personally, it's a great way. I mean, because I'm kind of getting close to retirement age,
Yeah.
knock on wood, and I just want to. I saw this as a way for me to kind of contribute to the community,
Sure.
and just occupy my time in a helpful way for
Good.
people.
That's
So
wonderful.
so
That's
it was just a
good.
good fit for me,
That was
even though I'm
excellent.
not an artist myself. I mean,
Okay.
you know.
Well, I don't know. I'm a director. I always can use men. If you want two
Okay,
lines in a play, when we get
sure.
back up and running again, I can
All right,
always use men.
I might take you up on that. Yes.
Okay, great. So, Peter, thank you for joining me today.
Thank
It
you,
was very,
Melinda.
very pleasant. I appreciate all the information. And, you know, people don't understand that there are people in the community that move to a community and they want to help out. And I just think it's wonderful you did that. It really is.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. And yeah, and like I said, if anybody else is interested, we're always looking for new members to be part
Sure.
of the council. So that's also, you can go to our page and find out more about that as well. But
Excellent.
thank you for having me, Melinda. I really appreciate
Excellent.
it.
All righty. Well, thank you for joining Cape Conversations.
My pleasure.
Have a good
See you
day.
soon.
Peter Fondulas, new to the community, only 5 years here, and look what he's helping with. Wonderful things. Helping the arts and culture in our community of Sandwich. Terrific. And the Cultural Council is a pretty cool thing. So if you want to join, you can just go into the town website and and see what's going on. You can look it up, Sandwich Cultural Council, and see how you might participate. They can always looking for new members. So thank you for joining me again today. Someday we're going to be out of fuzzy slipper mode, I promise. Anyway, I'm just glad you're here today with me. And don't forget, wear your mask. Have a great day. See you next time on another Cape Conversation.
Cape Conversation is a Sandwich Community TV podcast hosted by Melinda Gallen. You can listen to her and all of our other audio shows through Spotify at Sandwich Community TV or directly on our website at www.sandwichcommunitytv.org. Stay tuned for future content.